Welcome back to another episode on Anxiety Doesn't Own Me podcast. My name is Emmanuel Isaacson, and I'm an anxiety coach who helps people to overcome and heal their anxiety naturally. I wanted to start off this episode by firstly thanking all of my listeners and all of my followers and how many people that have given me feedback on how much this podcast has helped them in dealing with their anxiety and helping them to calm down their anxiety and overcoming it. I just want to say thank you guys. You have no idea how much this actually means to me, of how much this podcast has been helping you guys out. So I just want to say thank you guys. It really helps me to get motivated, because of whenever I started to help people, I said to myself that even if I help one person, it will be enough. And I see how many people it has impacted. It makes me feel so great, not in a way of an egotistical kind of way. It's more it humbles me, because I know what your guys are going through. I know the pains that you're going through, and I'm able to help you guys out. It really is an amazing opportunity to be able to do this and to be able to help people to overcome their anxiety. So I want to say thank you guys, and I'm so glad that you guys are listening to my podcast, and I'm so happy that it's helping you guys out. For today's episode, what I'm going to be talking about is something that a lot of us deal with whenever we have anxiety, is confusion. Whenever we have anxiety, and of course if you have depression on top of that, it can make you feel really confused. You may feel like you don't understand what's happening. Even with the smallest things, you're just sitting there kind of confused about what's flying. And I remember feeling this way when I first experienced anxiety. I remember feeling this confusion of about life itself, about myself, about everything. And it was very frustrating. And I didn't understand why it was happening. Why does it happen whenever we have depression? Why does it happen whenever we have anxiety? What's the reason? I remember when I had DPDR, which made me even feel more confused about everything, about reality, about the sun, about the trees, about just people, about everything. People, even for myself, who am I? That was such a weird question. I'm why am I asking that? What's the reason? Even on top of that, just confusion is the default in us. Right away, we're just confused right away. And I want to help you guys out and give you some clarity to also be able to help you guys calm down, and also to help you guys get out of this little rut of the confusion. So you have to understand, whenever we are feeling confused, which is a normal symptom. I don't know if it's a symptom, but it's normal to experience whenever you have anxiety, depression. But one of the reasons I've come to realize is that because whenever you are dealing with anxiety, you've never dealt with this in your life before. Yeah, you may have dealt with maybe a panic attack here or an anxiety attack there, but you're able to go back to your old self. The anxiety passed, whatever the situation was, and you were back to your old self. But now you have this constant anxiety. You have this. If you're depressed, and I remember when I was depressed, it's this overwhelming feeling. There's such a strong feeling that you can't just snap out of it. You can't just feel much better and feel happy. It makes you, it's like a physical pain inside of you, and it's so deep, but it causes you to feel confused. Because again, whenever you have anxiety, let's take the anxiety example, you don't understand what's happening with you. You don't understand why this is happening, where it's coming from, how to overcome it, why you're thinking this way, why are you having all these thoughts. It can make you feel really confused. But also whenever you have depression, whenever you have that, you feel very down. You feel that you have no confidence. Even with the anxiety as well, you have zero confidence. And that is the core, that is the number one thing of why we feel very confused, the lack of confidence. We don't have any direction whatsoever. Our compass, in a way, has gone haywire, has gone in all directions, and we don't know which one to take, and we don't know what to do, and we just feel this way. And if you guys realize, whenever people with anxiety try to explain something, why do they think that nobody else understands them? Not whenever you're trying to explain someone who doesn't have anxiety. Let's say me and you are talking, and I know this happens a lot with my sessions, that whenever they're trying to explain something to me, they're like, I hope I'm making sense over here. Like, it feels like I'm not making sense. And I always tell them, like, yeah, you're making perfect sense. You see, because within you right now, you with your anxiety on top of all the thoughts that you're having, and also if you have depression, your confidence right now is very low. Your confidence, you don't believe, and it's also consciously and also subconsciously that you don't believe what you're saying makes actual sense. But I can guarantee you, if I record the conversation and I play it back to you, you are going to say, oh, that actually makes sense. Because you're in your mind, you're not really understanding, because again, in your mind is working differently right now. Your mind is working completely different right now than it used to be. But the confidence over here is so shot that it's making you feel this way. And also the confidence, the lack of confidence is also making you feel very depressed. But the question over here is that, how do I stop feeling confused? How do I stop questioning myself? And this is why a lot of us, whenever we have anxiety, let's say, for example, we have health anxiety, we are right away worried that we have a medical issue. Even if you went for the same problem, let's say, for example, we have heart palpitations or chest pains, and we already went to the hospital, we went to the doctor, and they gave us a clean bill of health, we are still not 100%. And we're still confused of why we have these symptoms. And we question it over and over and over again. Because again, we don't have the clarity. We need clarity. That is the thing. And this is why I always tell people the number one thing that you want to do is understand how anxiety works. You want to understand, if you have depression, how depression works, why you have anxiety. Why are you experiencing depression? Whenever you have the clarity, what happens is that the confusion goes away. The confusion completely disappears because you already know now, you have that clarity, you're confident now that, hey, this is the reason why. This is why I'm operating this. This is why I'm having symptoms like that. So whenever we have a symptom, we're not worried that that symptom is going to be deadly. We're not worried that something bad is going to happen to us because we have that clarity. That's what we need to build over here in order to take away the confusion. Of course, we also need to build our self-confidence, which is a vital part in taking away the confusion. But number one thing that we want to start off is understanding where the anxiety comes from, how it works, why you have anxiety in the first place. So that way you have some sort of direction in healing your anxiety, in knowing what to do. Because if you don't have that, you don't know exactly if this thing's going to work. And you don't know if that's going to work. You're not going to have that clarity and knowing and that confidence in knowing, okay, this is what's going to help me. And then all those questions move away. Like, what if? But what if this thing happens? And what if that happens? And why are you thinking this way? Are you insane? Are you not insane? We're always like questioning everything, and that makes us feel very confused. But if we have the clarity, all that confusion goes away. So, number one thing that you guys want to do is understand where the anxiety comes from, how it works, why you have it, and of course, how to overcome it. As well, we need to stop overthinking, and I'm going to link in the description below the episode for how to stop overthinking. You guys can check that out. But the reason why we want to stop overthinking is because overthinking can make us feel very confused. And there's a reason why we overthink, and it's because we want to make sure that that thing is going to work out, whatever it is. We want to make 100% sure. We want that reassurance 100% to make sure that that thing is going to work out, that that thing is going to be fine. The future thing of whatever it is, the situation, whatever it is going to work out. And that makes us feel very confused because we don't know. We're not actually putting any action towards that situation, so that way we 100% know of what's going to go on. So like, for example, whenever I wanted to become an anxiety coach, I did not know 100% I was able to become successful with it or not. I was overthinking about it for years of fighting back and forth because of my belief in myself and the belief that I was able to do this. So I didn't know 100% until I actually took the action. And once I did take the action, I had more clarity and the confusion and the overthinking went away. I didn't doubt myself anymore because I saw that, hey, that I did know what I was talking about. That I am able to help people, and I did help people. So that actually does help. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that everything is going to be 100% okay and that we won't fail or make any mistakes or anything bad happening whatsoever. But we can also instill the positive things and telling, like for me, for example, like Emmanuel, you're going to do great in this. You are actually going to help people. You're going to help people on a large scale, and you're going to make a huge impact in this because you know what you're talking about, because you've been through it and you're able to overcome it. And that nowadays you saw that throughout those years that you had a battle, you were able to help people. And that way I was able to instill the positives in me to calm down the overthinking and take the risk and try to do this thing and help people out. But the same thing we need to do for ourselves, whatever the situation is. Let's say we're thinking about going somewhere that triggers our anxiety. Instead of thinking right away, that place is going to trigger my anxiety, and we're starting to overthink about the situation and everything like it, we can tell ourselves like, hey, it's going to be okay. I am going to overcome this thing over there. I am going to overcome my anxiety. I'm going to overcome the panic attack in that situation. And I'm going to be victorious, and I'm not going to even experience a panic attack. I'm going to have a great time over there. So we want to instill the positivity and instill that in a way that confidence of what is going to happen. If you did like this episode, please click the like button and leave a 5-star review. The reason why I ask is because this way we're able to reach more people, and the more people that we can actually reach, the more people that we can actually help. Because my mission in this world, my purpose is to help people to overcome and heal their anxiety naturally and show them that it's possible to overcome. Thank you guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.